Hey y'all, so now this video is dividing decimals. So the last video I did was multiplying decimals. This time we're going to do dividing decimals. And it's very similar to dividing multi-digit whole numbers. The only difference is there's a decimal point. So just like in the last video, you're going to have to do this work on a clean sheet of paper and pencil. And you're going to kind of like use this as notes while you are doing your independent practice. So make sure you do get that out while I am doing this video. So let's get started. So let's say this is number 1. And on number 1, we have 63 and 7/10 divided by 5. So whenever you have a problem, because you will have the problems that they look like this, we have to figure out, okay, which numbers are dividend, which numbers are divisor. So I'm going to set up my standard algorithm for division. So our dividend is the number that's going to go inside of here. That is the number that we are dividing, that we are splitting apart. When you get a problem that looks like this horizontally, the first number is your dividend. So 63 and 7/10 is our dividend. That's the number we're spreading apart. And 5 is my divisor. That is the number I'm dividing by. So now we are just going to multiply as if, not multiply, wrong one. We're just going to divide as if this was a regular division problem. So remember, our first step is we want to divide 6 by 5, or see how many times 5 can go into 6. This one's pretty easy because we all know that 5 can go into 6 one time. So I'm going to put 1. Our next step is to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. And then our next step is to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. After we subtract, our next step is to bring down the next number, which is 3. So now we need to figure out how many times 5 can go into 13. So remember, we repeat the process. 5 can go into 13 2 times. So I'm using my basic math facts to figure this one out. 2 times 5 is 10. And then I'm going to subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0. And then I'm going to bring down my 7. So now I need to figure out, okay, well, how many times can 5 go into 37? Again, I'm going to use my basic math facts. And I know 5 can go into 37 7 times. So I put my 7. 7 times 5 is 35. Put my 35. And then subtract. 37 minus 35 is 2. But when we are working with decimals, I'm not just going to put remainder 2 because our answer has to have a decimal in there. So whenever we are working with decimals, we're doing long division, if we have a number that we cannot divide 5 into, we're going to go to the end of our number and add a place value holder. So I'm going to put a 0 there, and then I'm just going to bring this 0 down. And I'm going to do the step all over again. So 5 can go into 20. Luckily, this one was an easy one. 4 times. I'm going to put my 4. 4 times 5 is 20. I subtract, and I'm left with 0. So I don't have to put another 0 and bring it down because we've zeroed out. We can no longer keep going or divide. Now, we are done solving. However, we are not done with our answer because just like with adding, subtracting, and multiplying, if we're working with decimals, our answer has to have a decimal. So this one's really easy. It's not as technically complicated as multiplying. When you have a decimal, when you're dividing, all you have to do is just bring the decimal point up, and that is our answer. So our answer is 12 74 hundredths. All right, we're gonna do another one. And we're probably gonna do another one that's not as easy as this one, to be honest, because I'm just kind of making this up as I go. That was really lucky of me. All right, number 2, I don't have anything because I didn't write it down yet. I'm going to do $438 and 700ths divided by 2. So again, I'm going to set up my standard algorithm. Remember, our dividend, which is the number on the inside, is the number that we are dividing. This is the number that we are trying to split up into equal parts. And that will always be our first number. So I put 438 and 7/10 inside of my standard algorithm. On the outside is going to be the 2 because that is my divisor. Now, I can multiply, or not multiply, I keep on saying multiply. Now I can divide. All right, 2 can go into 4, this was easy, 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. Now, I need to bring down the next number that's over. 2 can go into 3 one time, and I'm using my basic math facts for this. 1 times 2 is 2. I'll put my 2, subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. Bring down my 8. 2 can go into 18 9 times. So again, I'm using my basic math facts. 2 times 9 is 18. Subtract. I get 0. I need to bring down the 7. 2 can go into 7 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. I subtract, but I get 1. Remember, when we're working with decimals, we do not want to put remainder 1. We want to keep going until we can't go anymore. So I need to add another 0 or another number behind that 7 to help me keep going. And that number is going to be 0. So after I've added the 0, I'm going to bring the 0 down, which makes this 1 a 10. I got lucky again. So now I need to figure out how many times 2 can go into 10. 2 can go into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. And then we subtract. 10 minus 10 is 0. I don't need to go anymore because I'm done. I've zeroed out. I can't divide anymore. Now, we are done dividing, but we're not done with our answer. Remember, if we're working with decimals, our answer has to have a decimal point somewhere in the answer. Division's super easy when it comes to figuring out where the decimal point goes. You just bring the decimal point to the top. And our answer is 219 and 35 hundredths. All right, we're gonna do another one. Hopefully the next one I don't get lucky, because I'm trying to keep going and show y'all what that looks like, but I keep making these up at the top of my head. I probably should have planned this out a little bit better. All right, let's do 764 and 1/10 divided by 9. So I'm going to set up my standard algorithm. Let me not make it so big. Okay. Remember, the first numbers are dividend, so I'm going to put it on the inside. And then the second numbers are divisor. So now that I've set up my standard algorithm, I can divide. Can 9 go into 7? It can. And since it's in the beginning of the problem, I'm just going to skip it. So I'm going to skip 7. I'm going to move to 76. So now I want to figure out how many times 9 can go into 76 evenly. Now, if I know my basic math facts of 9, I know that 9 can go into 76 8 times. Now, where we put this number in the standard algorithm is very important because it can mess up the answer if you don't put it right. So since we skipped the 7, we can put like an X right here. And then for 76, we need to put 8 above the 6. If you put the 8 above the 7, you're going to get the wrong answer because since we're working with the decimal point, that means the numbers are shifted. And we don't want our numbers to be shifted in the wrong direction. So whenever we have to move to the next place value, put an X above that first place value so we make sure that we put our number above the right place value. Okay? So back to this. 8 times 9 is 72. I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. 7 minus 7 is 0. I'm going to bring down my 4. 9 can go into 44 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. I'm going to subtract. I can't do 4 minus 6. I need to borrow. This 4 becomes a 3. This 4 becomes a 16. A 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. I'm going to bring down the 1. How did I get lucky again? Oh my gosh. I'm so upset. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. And now I need to figure out how many times 9 can go into 81 evenly. If I know my math facts, I know that that is 9 times. So make sure you put the 9 above the 1. 9 times 9 is 81. We subtract. We zeroed out and we can't go anymore. So we are done solving. But I'm not done with my answer because remember I need a decimal point in my answer. So all I have to do is just bring up my decimal. So our answer is 84 and 9/10. I'm so upset. Like I'm really trying to have this like keep going. I should have planned this out better.